Ooh, 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 hello, hello, hello. I need to come up with a song that I can sing to fill time in the beginning of streams. That would be nice. Hello, my name is Macy O, and I am here to lo-dee-do. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through. Hello, lovely people. I am back from my untimely demise. So nice to be back. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing today? Thank you for liking the live, Damien. So nice to see you again. Hello, Pixie. How's the music volume? And how's the lighting? Good. Good. Is it still a little dark? Washed my hair earlier and it feels real nice. I'm wearing a closed shirt this time. Come at me, TikTok. No more tomfooling, Shirley. This is good. Excellent. How are we doing, lovely folks? I am doing quite well. I missed you. I've been wanting to stream a lot more than I have been able to. Now that I'm finally over that illness, I figured I'd be able to stream. And then I was locked up. Locked away. Locked away. But it wasn't all bad. Spent some time making some tasty food. Today I made a poutine and a chicken cutlet for supper. Very tasty. Yesterday I made a absolutely insane meatball sub. Also very tasty. How have you been? Encourage your viewers to share your live. Hello. I'll just trace this little critter while do it like this. I am quite partial to just this. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is being considered a one-trick pony. What do you think about that? What say you? Do you enjoy when I just loudy dowdy, we like to party? Do you just like when I trace your face? I like that. It pleases me. But if you feel you need more variety, let me know. What's up? What is up? Not a ton. I've just was talking about I was making nice meals lately. That's what I was up to while I was gone. Yesterday I made a busting meatball sub that was busting in my mouth. And today I made a delectable poutine and chicken cutlet. Very tasty. Doo-dee-doo-dee. Doo-dee-doo-dee. It was nice. It was nice. Although I have been aching to go live, but there's been so many things up. And I don't know, at this point, the plan is to just go live whenever things aren't up, which is not extremely easy to predict. But the only days that I kind of want to be like for sure absolute are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But obviously on Sunday and Saturday it was kind of iffy. Hence a closed shirt somewhat. Hi. Poutine is absolutely fire. That is a funny way of spelling poutine. I agree. That's funny. How are you doing, lovely folks? I missed you. Missed you. And I've been thinking about what we could get up to. I think today we'll just do the usual. Just some reading. I like that. But maybe it would be nice to discuss anything you folks would be interested in seeing, such as new triggers. New triggers. Because I like this. I'm new to ASMR, so there's just a couple ones that I've been mesmerized with. I just absent-mindedly do. I find in my daily life I've been clicking my tongue a lot more. I already come from a family that clicks their tongues and makes lots of random noises just idly. I've always made a lot of noises, so it feels, and I've always fiddled. It's just, ASMR is kind of just stimming, isn't it? So it feels quite nice. Nice, nice. Nice, nice. I have pieces of plastic around if you're interested in that. I'm not really a plastic noise lover. I have a hard time with, like, overstimulating sounds. Is that not how you spell poutine? Poutine. 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 ASMR is always nice to listen to, but does to have the same effects when you make it. Well, I don't know how this affects you, but there are certainly triggers. Well, all the triggers that I do, I enjoy. This is just how I've always tapped my fingers absent-mindedly. Clicking my tongue has been a thing my whole life. I don't know if it's been extremely prevalent. Anything messing with my hair is pretty nice, except that I kind of have I have very sensitive skin. My scalp is sensitive, so it gets sore after a little bit of play. Grammar has left you. That's fine. I will make fun of you slightly. I will rib you. For certain. Pixie was giving me hell. Because a lot of people find me mean. Couldn't possibly tell you why. I can be mean. I can be loud and aggressive. And usually I'm trying to be fun. But this is a space I'm just trying to relax. But I like bugging the people around me. And I like when they bug me. I keep thinking about that gentlefolk that came into the chat and said, those moves are tough. That shit cracked me up. Oh. Excuse my cussing. Excuse me. How are we doing today? Oh, gosh, all my chair noises and my clearing my throat. It is awfully hot in here. Native? Yes. Afro-Indigenous. Afro-Indigenous. Lately, one of my big ticks, I've been whistling a lot. Which is probably extremely loud for you, so I'll have to try not to. About to go on a trip tomorrow. How about you? I'm doing better now that I'm live. It was a nice couple days. I have a drawing to show you. Your voice is soothing. This is ASMR, damn near. Well, that's the hope. This is now an ASMR and reading focused stream, or channel that is. For a while, I had the hopes of uploading clips of me playing video games forever ago. That was fun. But these days, I've been more into this. For a bit I was streaming my art, and I post my art. This is a creature I saw in a dream. An imp. Or rather, the imp. TikTok was being too sensitive that day. Yeah. We were wondering as well if anybody had actually come in and reported me for my moobs. But it seemed like mostly the people liked them. Our views spiked greatly while they were out, and then I was killed. Perished. I like this. I did it with some microns. This is pink, purple, and blue. It's playing a little flute and floating. I saw this in a dream of mine. One I've been writing down. could tell you about it if you'd like. Dope, thank you. That's cool, thank you. Thank you. I'll probably get right into some reading. Frightful folklore. After that last stream, I'm kind of saw the FYP. Yes, it's my moves. See that post earlier today when I'm covering up? Do I want to put on maybe is there any sort of sound you would have me put on, Pixie Lee, while I'm reading? Or shall I just read in silence? How do we feel? Choose one. I don't enjoy switching between different ambiances because TikTok reacts differently to different ambiance. Sometimes when it gets changed, it gets picked up as distracting background noise for whatever reason. Both are pretty good. That's good to hear. We'll go with that for now then. That works for me. So, last time I was reading... What was I reading last time? Was it The Gray Man that I was reading and then in the middle of it I was annihilated? Today, there's Scary Mary. I read Tipilak. Have I read you this Tayachachma? I like them. Spirits of Dead Man's Pond. Mahaha. Let's read Mahaha. That was one of the first ones I was reading. There's one that I had heard of before getting this book. This is the story of the Mahaha of Nunavut, Canada. Laughing boosts the immune system, increases our intake of oxygen, strengthens organs and muscle function, and helps in coping with stress. The endorphins released when we laugh give us an emotional boost and can help to diminish pain. It is often said, therefore, that laughter is the best medicine. But far north in the frozen Arctic, the Mahaha is proof that too much laughter can be a bad thing and could even be deadly. At first, you might only notice the strange carved shapes in the ice and rock, curious formations and structures built of snow. When you hear faint, maniacal giggling in the distance, however, you know you are being stalked by the Mahaha. At first he tries to confuse you, causing disagreements and discord among the members of your group, deliberately creating animosity and, eventually, division. When people begin to break off to try to make a go of it alone, this is when the Mahaha strikes. Barefoot and barely clothed, the Mahaha stands still against the frozen horizon, his eyes peering at his victims through a tangle of ragged black, filthy and frozen hair, are haunting and blank, pale, white and frosted, as emotionless as his twisted rictus grin. Despite his stillness, the unnerving shriek of his incessant giggling, scattered and uneasy, derisive and indecent, is always echoing around you. The situation can continue indefinitely, the Mahaha mocking you both night and day, always finding ways to surprise you, and at each encounter slowly creeping a step or two closer toward you. With each move, his appearance becomes more visible. Ice blue skin and a withered form, meager and sinewy, as if gnawed away by the frigid Arctic winds. But it is the Mahaha's hands that reveal his true and vicious nature. Each of his fingers bears a long, sharp, and broken claw. When he finally makes his attack, it is with a simple stroke of a finger that the Mahaha induces uncontrollable fits of laughter in his victim. As his prey laughs, unable to regain composure, the Mahaha drains their very life force, consuming their energy, leaving behind an emaciated and broken husk. Appearing outwardly as if they had frozen to death, the deceased are left with a telltale sign that the Mahaha is to blame for their demise. A twisted, forever frozen grimace. What are we reading today? That was the tale of the Mahaha. Still reading from the frightful folklore of North America. Were you able to hear my cat chewing, crunching, and munching behind me? Ooh, thank you for the roses. My nose is itchy all of a sudden. I may have to deal with it. I spent many years with an itchy nose. Truly years. Until yesterday, just years. I would spend full days just an incessantly itchy nose out of nowhere, randomly. And it would just go on and on and on and drive me insane. And yesterday, for the first time, I applied a little bit of Vaseline to my nose. And it just worked. Now, I don't think that's a very interesting story, but it is kind of ridiculous that I've lived this way for years. Just having an overstimulating face. And then by accident, over a decade after my itchy noses had started, I just randomly found a little fix. Means someone's talking about me. Some people have had a lot of shit to say over these past couple of years. And it is irksome. 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 Shall we read? Mimikwisawak. Mimikwisawak. Page 64. 64. Oh, this is a cool one. I have not read this one yet. Oh, I guess I forgot to make any comments on Mahaha. Mahaha is one of the first stories I read in this book, and I quite like it. I was also illustrating some things about it. I was drawing little comic strips of the Mahaha. This whole book I'd like to read and upload to here and to YouTube. And it would be cool Maybe not to only show my face, but to show like a time lapse drawing of whatever creature or being is being read about. What do you think? I think that's kind of cute. My live has been restricted because of body exposure and sexualized behavior. What? Might be another rough one, fellows. It's just broken, yeah. It's almost like AI is garbage. Sending AI dogs to sick any who cross TikTok. Breaking the rules, am I? How though? My bad, I guess. Unless there's some hater reporting. Well, there's 5 people here. So, I would hope that we don't have a hater in our midst already. Mimikwisawak. Well, maybe I'll wait for this cat to stop chewing. What a ridiculous little critter. Are you done, Penny? She's running. How is the volume of my mic, by the way? It was telling me just a moment ago that there was no sound detected. Also, that restriction didn't even give me an opportunity to appeal it or to deny it at all. It just only gave me the option to accept it. Said it's been restricted for some audiences. TikTok needs to fix it. You're telling me, homie. Woof. Woof. We continue. Mimikwisawak of Manitoba, Canada. The Laurentian Plateau is a massive slab of ancient rock which forms the core of the North American continent. Hidden in the crevices of the hard rock here, a race of little people make their home. No more than 20 inches tall, the Mimikwisawak, or Mamakwasawak, are a diminutive yet strong species. As ancient as the rock itself, they are masters of crafting stone. After generations of living mainly underground in the darkness, their eyes have become enlarged and widely spaced. Their broad, round heads are slit by gaping grins. Their thin lips, pulled taut, reveal mouths full of jagged, needle-sharp teeth. Their limbs, long and lean, are inconceivably powerful. An earnest and purposeful people, they are proud of and watchful over the land they have claimed as their own. For many decades, there is peace between the Mamakwitawak and the tribes who lived near them. Over the years, they even traded with one another. The Mamakwasawak provided arrowheads, stone tools, and hammers to tribes, who in return gave them dried meats, medicine, and sweet maple syrup. As time passed, however, the tribes learned to fend for themselves, and they began to rely less and less on the Mamakwasawak. Some even forgot the little people existed. The Mamakwasawak lived easily without what they had been given in trade. However, the other tribes' incursions onto their land without acknowledgement was seen as a deliberate provocation. Irritation quickly gave way to resentment, and what had once been a relationship based on trust and understanding became riddled with doubt and intolerance. Small acts of mischief by the Mamaquasawak worsened from ripping holes in the tribe's fishing nets and triggering hunting snares to stealing the meat, medicine, and food that had once been traded with them. As the thefts became more frequent, the Mamaquasawak also became more brazen, regularly taking small children who were left unattended. All along the ridge of the Laurentian Plateau, from far north in Canada all the way down to the American plains, you can find the Mamaquasawak's warnings, petroglyphic symbols of soured kindness. Be advised to pay heed to these cautions, walk vigilantly on these lands, and pray that the petroglyphs are all you see of the Mamaquasawak. You set it to 18 plus. There's a way to set that. Yeah, that's fine. I figured. This is a weird ass setting since you apparently have to be 18 to even have an account. Is that right? Well, is there a reason there's only 5 of us here? Do you think people have gotten bored of me? Do you find me less? Is it because my chest is no longer showing? Oh, my nipple. How's this? Ouchie. What am I reading? Frightful Folklore of North America. We just read the tale of the Mamaquasawak, little people in Manitoba, Canada. Just reading through it. I've been working on memorizing these stories. Reading through that and occasionally doing some ASMR. Although I've been much more in the mood to read. I've been needing the creative stimulation. Sounds nice. I find it quite lovely. Lovely, lovely. What are you reading? Drink some water. We shall read The Tale of the Hokoku next, on page 50. Maybe music again, or crickets. Okay. It is buffering. You don't read much, but if you choose to, you read some of your indie game books like FNAF. Hello Neighbor, I see. I didn't know Hello Neighbor had books. That's interesting. Are they good? How is the volume of the ambiance? Okay. Now, how's the volume of the ambiance? They're decent, excellent. I like to read all sorts of fantasy. I like this right now. I like these collections of tales. I draw. That's my main type of art that I do. I've also been playing the harmonica lately, but mostly I draw. And reading these has been very lovely. I've also been writing. So I'd like to consume as much as I can and practice and grow. How is my mic volume, by the way? How is that sounding? Hokoku, Hokoku, good, excellent. This is the story of the Hokoku of British Columbia, Canada. Our minds are capable of subconsciously determining the height, width, and size of a given object based on our existing knowledge of other things that we see near it. But what happens when we look into the sky? Without a point of reference, it's practically impossible to determine the size of objects overhead. This optical imparity is exactly the advantage that the Hokoku needs to secure its prey. Soaring overhead, the Hokoku enters our vision as the dark shadow of the common raven. It rises and falls overhead, a black streak against the cobalt sky, and we barely give it a second thought. And this is the moment that the Hokoku attacks. As it begins its descent, it becomes clear that this isn't a common raven after all. The bird is enormous, getting larger and larger until coal black feathers eclipse the sky, and all at once you feel sharp talons sink into your flesh. Preferring the meat of humans to that of others, less intelligent creatures, the Hokoku will attack even the scrawniest of people before it turns to horses and livestock, taking great joy in playing with its food. The Hokoku viciously toys with its prey before killing it, ascending rapidly, arching high in the sky, then repeatedly dropping and catching its snack, sometimes passing it from one claw to another in midair. The Hokoku rarely kills with its great talons. Instead, the kill strike is efficiently delivered by its obsidian, thick and slightly curved beak, hard as good steel and made for breaking and crunching bones and cracking human skulls. The Hokoku considers the eyes and brains of humans to be nourishing and delicious. In some cases, it will only consume the brain, leaving the rest of the body for scavengers to feast on. Lucky is the prey that is eaten on the spot, even after being toyed with, for at least the end comes quickly with a proficient blow. Less fortunate are targets carried off to the nests high in the mountains, where they are given, still alive, to the Hokoku's young, who, unskilled in killing prey, will clumsily tear at their victim's flesh, painfully prolonging their demise. Ooh. That is the Hokoku. And this is the illustration. I've been drawing lots of ravens. I've been practicing drawing raven masks in the traditional style. Here in this West Coast style. Yeah, let me show you a couple. I've also drawn a Hokoku. Oh, I've been writing in my sketchbook as well. I don't have any writings. Oh, I do have a couple writings to share with you, but not this one. Let's see. I haven't been drawing extremely much lately. So this is an old drawing that I started a couple months ago. Been practicing drawing animals. Mostly I draw fantastical beasts, which I suppose this is one of as well. I wanna get in there with my dipping pen. My favoriteest. My favorite. Gosh. I'd like to do some more drawing streams as well, but it's been so nice reading. I enjoyed a lot. Feels like for the last 2 years, I've just been aching to read. But so many things have been in the way, and it's hard to make the time when I also feel like I have to use that time to draw. ASMR to pretend to trace your drawing as you talk about it. The noise from it is good. Okay. Maybe I'll do some of that. I'd like to... here, I'll show you... Oopsie. Let me show you my imp again. This is a little imp that I drew yesterday. Little beats, a little tail, kind of like a leopard gecko. I saw this in a dream. I dreamt. Maybe, shall I read you this dream? How do we like that? Use the tip of your marker maybe for noise. No. I've decided I'm going to read to you this dream of mine. Let's see. Oh. Like the cat. What do we think? Shall I read this to you? I haven't really read over it more than once or twice. You'd like to hear it? Excellent. So, this is called The Mall. I dreamt of myself and Pixie. You may recognize them from chat. In a large group of some sort, almost like a class on a trip, further broken in to smaller groups. I felt that the groups were from many different places, some closer to their neighboring group than other people, than others. People knew me before meeting at the mall, and some were just meeting for the first time. So, I'd been traveling quite a long time at this point, and eventually found myself in a big caravan. Because this is a series of dreams, you see. Our groups would convene to update or head count or change tasks at random intervals. We had just arrived at a supermall to have a short meeting at some tables that were set up in a grocery store. Our effort was quite improvised, for we were on the move. We relied on the help of locals anywhere we stopped. Sometimes there were old contacts or someone we trusted, and other times there were strangers who would accept payment for their spaces. I sat quiet and serious, listening to instruction. The plan is unchanged. We gather what we can and meet back here at the end of the day. A girl across the table was staring at me. She was tall, with a great mass of colored black and red hair. She was part of a group we had picked up not terribly long ago, and we'd become somewhat friendly slowly over our journey. Though I have no reason to believe she knew who or what I was. Pixie was also in the dream with me. I don't think we were acquainted in this reality. I don't think we were long-time friends as we are in real life. But she was along with a few members running the meeting. The briefing led out with a warning to the groups. Always be on guard. He has found us before, and he can do it again. This stop can't be long. The groups dispersed amongst them all. My group was sent to fetch groceries, and I went on my way, finding anything we needed to live simply. I spent hours packing methodically. By the end, there were 2 massive bags on my back, with several small bags of supplies on my side. Camping needs for food, hygiene, simple living. As I left the general store, something pricked at the back of my mind. A feeling, a need to find something. It could be anything. The tiniest piece of something lived in my mind. A feeling of eyes on me in the crowd. A small being watching me. I stopped dead and scanned the crowds and caught a faint, small presence of magic. A little blue trail. I followed hastily. Breaking through the crowd with a supernatural grace, honed in on the source of magic, I followed for minutes until I caught sight of the source. A rat scurrying through the shop, to the back and out an exit. I felt something as I followed. I heard something and saw a mist roll in and envelop me. I woke in the same chair that I'd sat in during the morning meeting. My bags were all gone. Groups piling in. The meeting was quick, and I was chewed out for having nothing to show for the entire day. No knowledge of how I'd gotten there. I stammered. I wanted to explain that I had seen magic, but I couldn't reveal myself to this many people at once. The meeting adjourned. The groups left. My group checked in on me, but I didn't know what to say. We left, and once again, I separated from them. I was slowly walking, pondering where my time had gone, when I saw the girl again. She stood before me with a wide smile and greeted me excitedly. We hugged for a long time, and she refused to let me go, and she spoke to me. Sorry, a little typo. She spoke to me. Kind words of care and longing She missed me. Caught off guard, I was unaware of another presence following me, that of my friend Pixie, following secretly. Seething at this tender moment I appeared to be having, I spoke to the girl automatically. Our words washed over my brain, for all I could think of was what had happened to me. I left the conversation with a friendly farewell and a promise to speak soon. A faux smile, or perhaps real, but with a lack of attention, for my mind was racked. I walked, and so did Pixie, to the front of the mall and exited. We left the loud mall to reach our small group's little camp. It was a quiet, ashy area with a small cliff and a beach. I was met by one of the leaders of our caravan who questioned me, sternly but not with anger, more with concern. I told the man what I knew: a magic trail, a rat, and then darkness. We didn't know what to make of it. We separated, joining our groups to ponder what had happened. My group sat among several logs, piled on each other, driftwood, and we spoke. They asked me, "What the hell happened with you?" My cat. Thank you for the roses. This is Penny the cat. Hello, Penny. Hi. Hello. You going to go? Farewell. Thank you for coming. Say, see you, Penny. See you. You were strong, you were wise, and you were loved. Whoops. She's all done being held. She's running. You like your cat? Excellent. She does not like me. Okay. Where were we? What the hell happened with you today? I didn't answer. I sat in silence as I was scolded when my ring on my right hand began to hum, imperceptible to all but me in this group. "I believe I may have an answer for you," said a voice from an invisible source, when we were joined by a small flying creature, an imp-like, cherubim-like creature, small, scaled, and discreet. I didn't often have time alone to see this tiny being, and today I was very much not alone. My group was close. We knew each other well and got along well. Perhaps one or two of the group of 7 people were aware of my ring and my role in our resistance, but the others only knew that I was devoted to the cause with a fervor that was not totally uncommon among the folk who had lost purpose and loved ones in this war of ours, but found it anew in this cause. I was trusted, but this creature needed an explanation. I told the truth to the group. This was a trusted entity. I spoke of the ring, of my role, and what had happened. They listened quietly and seriously until the imp spoke. And they heeded its words. It spoke of a spell cast on me. One pushed upon me from a distance. Gosh, TikTok is giving me hell again. The imp spoke of a spell cast on me, pushed onto me from a distance, carried in one, or perhaps several possible ways from a distance. It could have been carried on the air, for example. How the spell had reached me was unknown, but what was certain is it could happen again, and we needed protection. The cherub knew this. I do have some defensive magic that could work just fine for whatever it is reaching for you. I do have some defensive magic that could work just fine for what's reaching you. I cast it with this, and it produced a panpipe. You can all rest under my watch. As long as I play, nothing can reach you, save for what is here physically. The group decided there is nothing else to do after such a long day of travel, work, and intrigue. We needed to digest this new information and ready for what was to come. The cherub played, and we all began to fall into a deep sleep. As we lulled into sleep, there was something small, imperceptible, minuscule, pressing, a small, pricking sensation at the back of my mind. I thought to close my eyes and to activate my vision, to study the magic of the imp. This could be a useful trick to know. I stood in this physical plane, viewing the magic around us, but there was no mana to see from the cherub. The pipe played, and no other sound could be heard. Not but one whisper, a thought from the imp, an outgoing message. I extended a hand from my mind to dip into the flowing tendril of the cherub's mind, of the cherub's thoughts. And I heard, "Now's the time, kid. They're all here. Weave your magic into mine." And I saw the image of a white-haired, pale boy, not much younger than me, but much smaller, quieter. And I recognized the mana connected to him. My eyes flew open, and I lunged at the cherub and called out to the group as we heard a second instrument play through the pipes. I reached the imp and awoke. What do you mean, what now? What do you mean, what now? Did you not like my story? Excuse all of the bumbling and fumbling about. I haven't edited this. TikTok gave me shit. Oh, it just made me move a puzzle piece into the zone to know that I was still present, which it does. So, this dream I had a couple weeks ago, or is it like a few months ago now? I had it in the past few months, and this is how I've made the imp look now. Oh, thank you for the heart. Thank you for the roses. I love you. This is the imp. Since I've been drawing, since I've been writing, that is, and after drawing this, I have a few different ideas for how I would like this story to go. That's what I saw in the dream, but I'll probably edit it a bunch, and I'll see one other version and how I like it. Thanks for the GG, thanks for the oranges, thank you, thank you. Shall I read any of my, I guess the only, that is 1,385 words. excuse me, the only other thing that I've written that's that long is The Rotted City, 1,694 words. I should definitely spend some more time writing. I think it's been very meditative, and it's been really nice to share it, because I ache to share my art, like, constantly. Every time I go live, it's kind of a fight to figure out if I want to go live drawing, or if I feel like just reading or doing ASMR things. I like doing ASMR. Today I guess everybody's just chilling today. Thank you to you 5 beautiful folks. I hope it's just today and not because I kept getting restricted and now people won't see me or something. 'Cause that would stink. That would stink. Maybe that means it's time to explore ASMR triggers or something. I have a DS here. Do you like when I click the buttons? We could play some Pokemon Platinum, my favorite DS game. Boop, boop, boop. Facts. Most relaxing ASMR artist. Thank you. Most lovely chatter. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. Ooh. I never had a DSi growing up. I had a DS Lite for the longest time until it died on me. And then I had a 3DS. So it's kind of cool. My cousin gave this to me years ago. And every once in a while, I'll just load up one of my several copies of Pokemon. Get that good hit of nostalgia. I'll take some time and look through the Pokedex and figure out who I want to be my next 6 best friends. I need to tell another story. I feel like a loser. Do you like Tamagotchi? I've never played Tamagotchi. I've watched a little bit of Tamagotchi Life, and I have been aching to play it. It looks really fun. I want to make my homies in that, and I want to make characters. I want to make my characters. I want to make movie characters. I love movies. What have I watched recently? Started a rewatch of the movie In Your Eyes. Cute little romance movie. Cute little movie. I love it. Just about 2 people who are connected. They can see through each other's eyes, and they can feel each other's emotions and experience what's going on with each other. And they have done since they were children. It's just like a mysterious little connection that, for the longest time, they just chalk up to little psychosis, I suppose, until eventually they talk to each other, and fall in love. Or do they? Ooh, it's a romance. You can probably guess what happens. But I certainly recommend it. It's a fun, cute little movie. I adore it. I like romance. I like romantic stories, but I can't really think of. Oh, sorry. Were you gonna tell me I was off cam? I just keep sneaking away. A creature just visited and bestowed upon me some gifts. Unsolicited, I might add. Naughty little goblinoid creature behind me. Excuse me. Remember to drink water. And thank you for being here. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your time and attention. Oops. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. Sorry about the noise. What? This noise behind me must come to an end, creature. I'm being distracted. Do you like Tamagotchi, Arlie? Arlie. Loudy dowdy, we like to party. So fun. I'm jealous. Very jealous. I have not been playing a lot of video games lately. I've been busy. And I find... Oh, my stomach. I find when I do have some free time, the onlyest thing I want to do in the whole world is draw. I could draw forever and ever and ever. But it's been nice to also write, to exercise my imagination in other ways, to feel that. The birth of new ideas and the connection of old ideas coming together is so satisfying. Tamagotchi is the virtual pet device. Oh, I see. Tamagotchi and Tomodachi. I see. Well, I know. I've never watched that. I may have to wash up after holding my cat. I'm allergic. I've never had a Tamagotchi pet. Tomodachi Life is that new Switch game. My understanding is it was also an old game. Pixie would know what console it used to be on. Should try the Nano Tamagotchi and they're cheap. $20. Ooh, that's cool. On the DS, I see. Wow. DS games. Well, what do you know about Guitar Hero on the DS? Tell me what you know about Guitar Hero DS, Pixie Lee. That was my jam. I remember, well, there's no slot on it for this, but on the DS Lite, there was a slot for like, would it be exclusively Game Boy Advance games? Game Boy games would fit here, and Guitar Hero had a cartridge and a little thing you plugged in and strapped your hand into for the buttons. And I remember struggling, trying to perform one way or another. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one day. Maybe next week. I'm gonna get you. I'll get you. Blondie. I like Blondie. Blondie is cool. I think. Unless Blondie's not cool. Is Blondie cool? Tapping on the case is right. You're right. DS game, yes. You like this? What a nostalgic little thing this is. I've been thinking of playing a little bit of Platinum. Every once in a while I'll do a little run through. I have not played it, well, maybe it's not true at this point to say I have not played many video games. Why is it so relaxing in here? Why is that? Beats me. Perhaps you like the Nintendo DS. Is this not a DSi? What makes a DS a DSi? It is not a DS Lite. For real, how do we stay awake? You don't. You give me as many likes as you can, and then you pass out. Ooh, you are liking the stream, and following, and falling asleep. And then we're repeating tomorrow. How's this? Does that sound nice? It changes for me. Sometimes dragging my fingernail across things is the most heinous experience of my entire life. Sometimes it's kind of in the middle. Liking the live. Ooh, thank you for liking the live. Your presence is appreciated, and you are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. You are strong, wise, and loved. Thank you for the follow, Adriana. Thank you for following. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. I was reading earlier, but I think I've been overdue for some ASMR. I'm not a consumer of ASMR, and I never have been. Anytime I've tried, I found myself repulsed. But since I've been doing ASMR, I've been wanting to explore triggers. But how do I explore triggers without being repulsed? Maybe that's just a part of it. Uncomfort, discomfort. Discomfort breeds growth. When you are put into uncomfortable situations, you often are met with an opportunity to grow. Now, the context for this statement is often a little different than watching YouTube videos, ASMR specifically, but I think it still applies. Do you post on YouTube? Currently on YouTube we have VODs. So we have VODs of me doing this, some ASMR, and telling stories. I've been reading Frightful Folklore of North America. And I've been writing a little bit and reading that. Although a moment ago I read one of my works that I haven't really spent a ton of time editing, so I'm a little embarrassed. Your voice is so calming, thank you. Pinned a comment. Yes, the YouTube is, oopsie, sorry about my chair, the Sweet Bard. The plan for the Sweet Bard is probably to take clips. Yeah, is to take clips from the live and post them so that you don't have to sift through live VODs to find ASMR if you're in the mood for ASMR, or to find reading if you're in the mood for reading. Excuse me. I have a few. Just subbed. Thank you for subscribing. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. Love Pixies PFP. That's Pixie. That's a drawing of Pixie. It is quite a darling PFP, is it not? Subbing right now. Thank you. You are strong. You are wise. You are loved. Can you hear when I click the shoulder buttons? That's nice. I feel kind of like a kid holding this. When the DSi came out, I wanted so badly to have one. But I was unfortunately saddled with my old DS Lite, my first gaming console that I had ever owned. My cousin got a DSi. He was a bit of a demon. A demon. Oh, it does have an eye. If you can see right there. The little eye. Ooh. Is that terribly loud? Thank you for the follow. Danielle. Thank you for the follow. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. What a fun little thing. Yeah, my first console of my own, my handheld console, was a DS Lite. I didn't grow up playing video games, really. Unless you do count this, or the DS, that is, not this one in particular. My first DS is long gone. Surely lost in a move. I can't imagine that I would throw it away. I'm a little bit of a hoarder. My train of thoughts. Somebody give me thoughts. Thank you for the follow. Mushroom emojis. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. This is just on my desk. It's because I've been considering a little Pokemon Platinum playthrough. But maybe not. For I find the draw of drawing I find I'm more drawn to drawing. You're a hoarder too, not gonna lie. Yes, I am working on it, but I'm a bit of a collector. I like little things. I like, since I'm showing you nostalgic things, maybe I'll just do a little tour of things that are close by me. This is a dragon. I adore dragons. I love them so. Love them so. Dragons are a favorite thing of mine. I'm an artist. I've been drawing since I was 2 years old. I started drawing the first time I saw my father draw a dragon, and I recalled thinking to myself, I would like to draw a dragon just like that. Let's see if there's anything I can... Oh. The wind is so loud outside. Literally staring at your screen, trying not to fall asleep. Like Sylvester the cat. Which is a reference you may or may not get. Just of Sylvester sitting bloodshot. You heard nothing. No stomachs rumbled in his vicinity. Having like 10 different collections. What do you collect? I collect frogs. I collect little critters, little nostalgic things. Do I have many toys? I don't think I have many toys. But as I dig through my things around my desk, maybe I do have a lot of toys. I like just picking up random things at thrift stores. Tummy noises ASMR. For some reason I thought you were always outside in a tent. That would be fun. There's been a bear in my yard lately. They've been breaking into my garage. It's broken twice. I was tempted to have the window open, but what if a bear jumps in? Ooh. So I'm going to rummage over here. I want to show you a few of my little frog things I've collected. DVDs, CDs. After my own heart are you. I collect film. I have loads of DVDs and I have some CDs, but in my area we don't really have any nice spot to get any CDs of quality. This is some little frog thing burnt into the woods. Almost certainly AI design. In the earlier days of people just generating things and sending them out, and my old ass couldn't identify that. What do you think? Does this look organically made to you? DVDs, bracelets, CDs, Hello Kitty, Winnie the Pooh. I love Winnie the Pooh. Really weird and interesting house decor. You've gone for a second. What'd you miss? I'm just going through my random little collected stuff around my desk. My desk is an absolute mess. I've just been using it almost exclusively for drawing. For a couple years, I was a hardcore gamer, and my desk was just full of my keyboard and my 2 monitors and all this stuff, and it was driving me insane. Now, my desk is a place just for my drawing things. These I'd like to set up on my little shelf beside me. This is a salt shaker frog. So worried though because your DVD collection got certain categories. Your fave is martial arts. Ooh, I love martial arts movies. Like Shaw's Brothers films? Like old style? Or like Donnie Yen? Do you have any Jet Li? Do you perhaps have The One? Ooh, Jet Li in The One. I believe Delroy Lindo is also in that. And Jason Statham. They're like time cops. And Jet Li is going through different timelines, and he is killing all the other Jet Lis so that he can gain their power and become the one. Yes, that's cool. I love martial arts film. Love it, love it, love it. Have you seen Kung Fu Hustle? Love Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer. And I like the 5 Deadly Venoms. Those are some of my favorites. Well, Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer are like comedy ones. The 5 Deadly Venoms is not a comedy, just an ode. Just an ode martial arts movie. This is an Avon perfume holder. Would you like to have a smell? Donnie Yen, Tony Jaa, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, very cool. I'm intensely sensitive to scents. Are you? Have a smell. This is one of very few scents that I can tolerate. I have an extremely strong nose. Little frog. Babe. Frog salt shaker was so cute. Couple of my little froggies. I love them. Frogs are a favorite animal of mine. An all-time favorite. Little Pokemon my cousin gave to me. It's a little cute little gift a couple of years ago. This is Palkia from Pokemon Pearl. And I have a few of like the worst quality Pikachus you've ever seen in your life. They come from those little things you put a toonie in and you go and you get 3 or 4 Pikachus and a Ninetales and a Flareon. I got so many Pikachus from that. Pikachu's cool and all, but that kind of stunk. Oh. Is this extremely excellent content of me rummaging off screen? Strong sense be messing you up. Yeah, I'm supremely sensitive. I remember every morning I lived on the res for a year. Well, I lived on the res as a kid, but like in recent years I lived on the res. Well, not recent. Anyway, when I was going to school, taking the bus from the res to town, there was one person on the bus who I swear every single day would bring a full breakfast onto the bus and make me gag, make me nauseated with the smell of bacon and eggs and pancakes. Now who's bringing a full breakfast onto the morning bus? Quite silly. Every single day would make me nauseous. Now let's see other random things. Here's my little basket of friends. This is crocheted at a local Easter market, or Ostra, at a local Ostra market. A lovely, lovely lady that I've known for a couple years gave this to me for free. How kind. Oh, that reminds me actually. She was urging me to do this, to do, not necessarily this, to do anything with my voice, she said. She said, you've got a nice voice. You should do podcasts. You should do something with it. A few people have told me that. And I'm happy to say that I'm here now, doing just that. And I'm happy to be here with you. You specifically. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. Full breakfast on the bus is brave. That's right. It's very brave. It's totally insane. I remember one dude would play dubstep on the bus at like 6:30 a.m. That's funny. That's cool. What year was it? Dubstep. Can't say I've ever had a dubstep moment. This is a little cricket guy made out of a corn husk. I found this at a thrift shop. It only has one eye. This is my cute little guy. The wind is so loud. 2011-ish. 2012 to 2015, peak dubstep years. Peak. That's funny. Were you jamming to dubstep, Pixie? Do scene girls jam dubstep? Little guy. Yes, that's cool. This is a little Christmas mouse friend. I adore her. Very cute. Very cute little thing. Little sweater. This is a dragon that the lovely and illustrious Pixie Lee crafted for me. Isn't that cute? I love this thing. The cuteness aggression. I just would like to consume this critter. Okay. Those are not lending themselves to ASMR. Let's see. Hello. Hello, lovely folks. How are we doing? It's so lovely to see you. Ooh. Is this ASMR? I didn't know my nose could get any bigger. This is a lovely little jellyfish light. This is the controller. What colors do we like? That's just red. That's some green. Blue. Ooh. Ooh. Gotta make bubble noises like I'm in there. Like that. They do ocean time ASMR like this. The jellyfish have trapped me. The spirit jellies. I'm trapped with them in this little container of ooze. Ooze. That is stupid. Let's see. The creature goblin of the night also brought to me one of my little tiny pocket sketchbooks. This is one of my first little drawings. Can you hear it? Anyways, this is just something I was doodling a few years ago. Or was it last year actually? Tapping on leather and tracing. That's cool. Thank you. Thank you. I have a few little pages like this of just geometry, really, I guess. Maybe I ought to bust out some sketchbooks sometime and trace a few drawings. I could mark a few of them that are like this, just with lots of and I could try to make noises or something. It's your bedtime. Oh, good night. Def coming back. We will be streaming again tomorrow night. And if all goes well, we will be streaming the whole weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. Starting hopefully at about 10:30 or so Pacific time. Let's see what we have here. That's awesome. Thank you, Elijah. Bro's voice is so relaxing. Thank you, Zan. Your presence relaxes me. I find spending time like this here with you is a good dose of relaxation that I need after the long days and weeks of trying to be productive. It's a nice little way of feeling productive and getting relaxed and winding down. I find in my condition, being as it is, regarding ADHD or other ailments, if you consider ADHD an ailment, but the other things certainly are ailments, such as stress or depression that comes on or things of that ilk. It's always nice to just take some time specifically devoted to some relaxation and self-care. This is a little, it's kind of hard to, this is a little drawing of a little tree stump. A little eyes. I see you. Little eyes. Little eyes. I just toil away at work and doodle in this little book. Can you hear this? How is that? Cool. Let's see. This is what I was working on recently. Can you hear the stomach noises, ASMR? You are getting very hungry. Ooh. I like this thing. I've never been much for simplifying. I don't know if you draw very much, but often the advice you will receive in improving your art, it will be to simplify into simple shapes. This is a little ballerina spider girl that I was drawing who has a little ring on her head wearing it as a circlet. She is teeny tiny. I like drawing cute little spider creatures. Oh, as I was saying, I don't know how much drawing you do, but you'll often receive the advice to break down complex shapes into simple geometry. I've never really known how to use that advice. I'm sure it works for some people. But every once in a while, it's just nice to just make fun looking geometry. Fun geometry. Here's a little critter I was drawing. It's a little weird cowboy guy with a little fantastical beast. That is meant to be its innards coming out of a cracked shell, whatever this little being is. Has potentially seen some scrapes, or perhaps just woke up with a little bit of brain fluid leaking out, as we are like to do sometimes, are we not? Are we not? Are we not like to leak a little bit of brain from time to time? Little page. Thank you for the follow. Valksmeer. My best attempt. Your presence is appreciated, and you are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. Little lines, little lines, little lines, little lines. Feels nice on my brain. Feels good. E. POV, you work at a library. Just practicing drawing from life. YouTube for VODs. Oh, thank you for the follow, Aiden. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. More little creatures. I like those little legs. 2 little legs. Little snail guy. Crab of some sort. Flying flea. What a satisfying little thing. Do you like this? Do you like this as much as I do? I like this. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for your presence. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. Thank you for liking the stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Little marionette creature. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you. Oh, and you can see through the page my little samurai guy. Yes, that's another one too. What's another one, huh? A little drawing of a person's torso being split in twain by a magical arrow of some sort. Flipping through pages. Are you streaming from Twitch? No. Originally, I was a Twitch streamer. Eventually, I would like to dual stream. I have not used my Twitch account to stream for quite some time now, though. But I would like to return to it. This is my cat, Penny. I did not draw this, but I wish I had. Dual streaming is the goal. It certainly is. It sure is. Yes, yes, yes. What about flipping through pages one by one by one by one? Is that nice? My old apartment, I lived on the second floor, and we had a little sunroom, and I would draw the street. It's just some street lamps and the neighbor's hedges. If you can discern things in this, it's the neighbor's house. Let's see. This is a drawing of a frog in a flooded building. This is like a little vent on the ceiling that's touching the water. And it has a little drink. There's a little frog down there. I love frogs. I love them. Love them. Excuse me. Ooh. 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 Little dragon. I love dragons. I adore dragons. Truly symbol of creativity and imagination to me. An origin of my creativity and imagination, to be sure. Little dragon, fire. Thank you. Thank you. I have to use this book some more. I've been drawing for so long that when I'm not drawing for long enough, Often, anytime that's like more than a couple days of not drawing, I get dysregulated. Shows in different ways. Sometimes I'm frustrated and sometimes I'm melancholic. And it just has to be anything. Even just like this. Just little fun shapes. If you can focus. Focus, focus. Focus, focus. Little lines. Even just simple things can help quench my thirst for drawing. Like this thing. I like this ridiculous thing. It's fun. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, can you hear me? The live disconnected for a moment. On my side, we're connected again. It's storming outside. Hello. Welcome back in, beautiful people. Good now? Excellent. Excellent, excellent. If that happens again, we may have to just call it at that. I was showing you my raven drawing. You still can't see, huh? Well, you can hear. Ravens are a favorite animal of mine. Ravens and frogs. And for a while I was drawing boar. This is a skunk pig and a fox. This is a more kind of cartoony looking, or caricature looking, I suppose, with his funny little legs. Little skunk pig. Skunk, pig, and the fox. I was drawing a lot of them for a while. I was drawing more realistic versions of them, to be sure. It's always good practice to draw in so many different styles. Draw from life and abstract it. Every drawing you make will likely be an abstraction. I think that the higher level artist that you are, the more abstract your pieces get. I don't really find myself impressed with true to life artists. Well, in a way I am. I like when an artist creates daily. I like when they like what they do. I like people who are happy. But as far as things that I will go out of my way to consume, it will never be a drawing of a hyper-realistic eyeball, say, or a hyper-realistic face, or hyper-real this and that and that and this. I like to see your brain. I like to see your mind and your thoughts still buffering. I like to see your soul drawn onto a page. I think that's so beautiful. Well, surely the storm is the only reason we've had a small viewership this stream. Surely that's it. And I have not fallen off of a cliff yet, surely. Surely. Nay-san, so nice to see you. My stomach is grumbling. Oh, thank you for sharing the stream. I Vanilla Bean. So nice to see you here. Your presences are appreciated. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. What's up? Not much. Just been here for 2 hours now. Just reading a little earlier and tapping on this and telling stories. What's up with you? Let's see, what shall we get into? What shall we get into? The classic, perhaps? A little barbarism from the barber kit? A little hair snipping, perhaps? A little bit of a touch up on you. My stomach is grumbling. Just got back from a camping trip. The stream is like a reward. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Camping. Ah, yes. In my area, camping entails a lot of cold, of the extreme variety. It's a very beautiful place that I live in, but no matter what time of year, if you're camping in the forest, over here it's mountainous. Anywhere in the mountains at night, anywhere in the forest at night, gets mightily cold, biting cold. It doesn't lend itself to an excellent sleeping environment, I'll tell you that. So I've never been a big fan of camping. But I would like to have good camping experiences. I hope you had a beautiful camping experience. What kind of environment were you camping in? Was it devilishly cold? I was gonna use these scissors to cut stuff, but this is used for hair and I don't really feel like dulling it on anything. My split ends need to go though. I'm gonna flip out if my stomach keeps on screaming. Mountains, it was cold and raining at night. Yep, that'll do it. Isn't that always the way? My stomach, stop. Stop. Show these lovely people you trapped with a jellyfish. A gremlin goblin of some sort dropped off a few little gifts. Things for me to play with, to show you for ASMR. This is one of them. This is a little light up lamp. It lights different colors. Ooh. And I was playing with this earlier. Hello. Hi. Hi. So nice to see you. Welcome back from camping. I'm trapped in a vat of jello fish. Help, I'm under the water. It's too much raining. The people love it. The voice of the people, the Vox Populi. Is that ye, Pixie Lee, Vox Populi? Does she speak for you, Nasson? Too sleepy to type, that's just fine. Be sleepy. Relax. Lay down if you aren't already. If you can, rest yourself. Rest up. You had a long trip, and now you're back, out of the cold, out of the rain, out of the elements. You love the bubble noises, but I cannot speak while I'm doing bubble noises. Are you telling me to shut up? How rude. Boo this woman. Boo this pixie. I jest. I love my Pixie Lee. You are strong, you are wise. You are loved. You are loved. Are those actual jellies? No. Yes. No. I wish. Pixie Lee saw her first wild jellyfish the other day. Very cool. Usually this area gets swarms of them. We get just so many I changed the color. We get so many jellyfish. Ooh, thank you for the roses. My stomach is grumbling. Thank you for the roses. Life goal achieved. Was that insanely loud? Is it still insanely loud? So pretty. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Gosh, you're such a kidder. You're too much. You are also pretty. And your presence is appreciated. You're strong, you are wise, and you are loved. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, this thing is fun. Hello. Hello. Hi, jellies. 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 Thank you to all you, lovely folks out there witnessing the jellies. Your presence is appreciated. You're strong, you are wise, and you are loved. Thank you for liking. Thank you for following. For those of you who haven't followed, follow if you enjoy. I'll be live again tomorrow. I'm in the mood to explore more triggers. Somebody brought up anticipatory ASMR to me, and I'm curious. I'd like to try it. I'd like to try it. How would I do that? What if I... I have to stop doing that. Ooh. Oh, an almost clean image. There we are. Jellofish. Perhaps I need to remove my entire stomach and intestines for the purpose of streaming ASMR without interruptions. Do you hear this blasted thing shouting? Oops, sorry, there was a little squeaky bottle. Drink water, drink water. What else do we have, Pixie Lee? What is there for me to get into? Do we like this? This is a piece of trash that held tasty seaweed. Cool. Was that instruction, or was that a typo? The thought of somebody entering and instructing me to coo, and then immediately doing so is humorous to me. Ooh, shall I read you some stories? I can do just that. I'm going to pause the stream momentarily, though, so that I may wash my face. I was petting my cat momentarily on stream to show you lovely folks, and my whole face has been itchy ever since. So I'll be right back. Cool, falling asleep. Excellent. Falling asleep. That's what this place is for. I will be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hello. Hello, lovely folk. It's so nice to see you. I've returned, and I feel less itchy, somewhat. It's quite a shame being allergic to the cat, for she loves attention. Thank you for the follow, Miles. Your presence is appreciated. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. Let's see here. What shall we read? We have The Flaming Bride of Banff Springs Hotel, The Devil's Island Giant, Jeteau des Sorts, The True Story of Marie Joseph Corriveau, Sam Squatch, Wendigo, The Headless Nun of French Fort Cove, on page 86. French Fort Cove. This story is called The Gichigami Goonch, and I misread it as The Giga Chad. Oh, that looks cool to read next. Corriveau. Sam Squatch. We have a lot of carvings of Sasquatch in this town. Oh, what a strange... There we are. The Headless Nun of French Fort Cove. So what type of story is it gonna be? This is a story I haven't read yet. So I'm not totally sure. But there's a headless nun. Ooh. So surely it'll be somewhat frightening. The Headless Nun of French Fort Cove, New Brunswick, Canada. During the early years of colonization, the east coast of Canada saw the French and British locked in decades of conflict. One victory after another soon found the French colony of Acadia completely under British control. Some Acadians swore allegiance to their new king. Some found themselves living through the harsh conditions of expulsion, and a brave few took to the Canadian wilds in the hope that they might never be found. News of the Acadians' struggle soon made its way back to France, to a young nun named Sister Marie Inconnué. She asked to be sent to the colonies to offer comfort to those in need, and she was put on the next available ship. She landed near an inlet known as French Fort Cove, where a small community of Acadians were sheltering. Sister Marie quickly became a beloved member of the Acadian community, offering assistance where needed, supporting those who were ill and helping to feed the hungry. After a short time, however, word of an imminent British attack on the French Fort Cove Acadians spread through the community. Fearing that their valuables would soon become plunder, the Acadians gathered up all their money, jewelry, gold, and silver, and gave everything to Sister Marie for safekeeping. She set off alone into the wilderness and found a secluded place to bury the treasure. Local thieves got wind of the buried valuables, and late one night, as Sister Marie was walking her usual path home, after helping a patient, 3 assailants leapt out, pulled a burlap sack over her head, and whisked her away to their hideout. Sister Marie resisted the thieves' questioning, never divulging the location of the treasure, but after hours of torture, she finally succumbed to her ill treatment and died. The thieves were so disturbed by the horrifying expression on Sister Marie's face after her death that they lopped her head off and threw it into the sea. Her headless corpse was found by fishermen the following day. The devastated Acadian community searched the cove and the woods surrounding it, but Sister Marie's head was never found. After a small local ceremony, her body was returned to France, where it was buried in a small cemetery near Old Convent. Although her body was in France, her spirit remained in New Brunswick, and Sister Marie continued the search for her missing head. There were constant reports of nightly sightings of a dark figure carrying a lantern, walking slowly and seemingly searching the edge of the path that Sister Marie had often taken. Some claimed the figure appeared to be wearing a nun's habit. One night, as darkness was making its way through the wood, A local farmer was traveling the path home. He noticed a dim light ahead of him, a lantern, and took some comfort from the fact that there was another traveler on the path. As he got closer, however, his apprehension grew. He could see the figure more clearly and recognized the distinct shape and pattern of a nun's habit. "Cuckoo, hallo," he cried out nervously, but the nun walking ahead of him paid no heed. He assumed she had not heard him, so as he approached, he spoke again. "Hallo, bonsoir." As she slowly turned to face him, he saw that the nun had no head, and filled with horror, he screamed and fell backward to the ground. Grasping at the damp earth, clawing and kicking himself over root and stone, the headless nun thrust her lantern into the farmer's face as she bent down toward him, and with a voice fully audible but hushed and soft as a whisper, she asked, "Wo est matit? Where is my head?" The man stumbled to his feet and ran all the way back to the safety of his farm. Although the Acadian settlement of French Fort Cove had since been abandoned, Sister Marie still searches the area for her missing head. Over the years, many have claimed to see a headless nun wandering the dense wood in the dead of night, and some say that she has asked them to help her look for it. One man says he once felt Sister Marie's ghostly hand reach out of the darkness to touch the back of his head, and claims that in the following days, 3 distinct finger-sized patches of pure white hair began to grow, exactly where she had touched him, among his dark amber hair. If you choose to go out in search of Sister Marie Inconue's spirit, be sure to bring a flashlight, and be sure, of course, to never go alone. Hi, so happy to see you, Xtal. So happy to see you. This is the illustration of headless Sister Marie. So nice to see you. I was gone for a couple days, and now I'm here. Don't know if you saw the posts. Last stream was a little silly. And here's headed Sister Marie. Let's see what else we have in here. I went past a couple pages of Sasquatch. Are we interested in Sasquatch or the Wendigo? Or perhaps, are we interested in the Oniate? Ooh, I love the Oniate. This is the story of Oniate from New York, United States. Just south of Lake Ontario, among 11 long and narrow lakes, known as the Finger Lakes, live the Cayuga, also known as the Gayogoho no, meaning the people of the Great Swamp. A very principled people, their way of life was an inspiration to the founding fathers of the United States, who adopted many governing principles from those of the Cayuga. Living in the unforgivingly harsh environment of the North, the Cayuga have always known that the only way to survive is through cooperation and harmony. This belief was the foundation of their community, and they put rules in place to ensure its continued existence. It isn't just the fear of punishment for breaking the rules that keeps people living together peacefully, though. The Kaigwa also fear the wrath of a terrifying entity known as Oniate. In the Cayuga language, Oniate literally translates to dry hand, but the true nature of this specter is far more sinister than this simple translation suggests. The Oniate appears as a desiccated hand, disembodied and floating in midair, its flesh pale and decaying, its fingers bloated and black from disease or frostbite. In some instances, the hand is still attached to its forearm, which appears to have been twisted and ripped off. Prowling desolate and forbidden locations, Oniate ensures that no one dares to enter, for if they do, they will regret doing so for the remainder of their short lives. By simply brushing the skin of those who offend it, the Oniate can inflict blindness or an infection that results in a prolonged and painful death, and forces its victims to watch their body slowly putrefying before their very eyes. It isn't just those who venture into forbidden lands who suffer this fate. The Oniate can also be summoned to deal with those in the community who behave in a disagreeable or disrespectful manner. Appearing in the darkness of night, Oniate punishes those who foment discord or incite unrest within the village. Those who speak ill of others, specifically the dead, and also punishes those who spread gossip or promote distrust or feuds. Once it is set upon the offending community member, Oniate pursues them every night until it inflicts its own justice with a single touch of their skin. The third choice. I assume you meant Oniate, because I brought up a Sasquatch Wendy. This is the illustration of Oniate. A floating, desiccated hand caught in some red threads. I love Oniate. This is a very cool story. I've drawn a little bit of Oniate. Maybe I could quickly locate those drawings. Let's see right here. We have some Pokemon. We have some... Oh, here we are. Oniate. Very fun. This is a drawing of the Gichigami Gunch, the catfish. This is Hokoku, the great raven. Love your drawings. Thank you. Thank you very much. That means more than you could ever know to hear. And that's Ogopogo. Would you like to hear of the Ogopogo next? I could read that one. That's not a story I grew up with, but it is a creature that I grew up hearing about. It's a little sea monster. This is a drawing of, well, these are both my interpretation of a creature called Naga, which I cannot recall if it's like Greek lore or Mesopotamian. Arabic lore has perhaps Naga, but I know they have another creature that is similar to Naga. That's like a reptilian human hybrid that brings the rain. And that big old weird mosquito is in reference to the origin of the mosquito, a tale that I heard growing up. There's a sphinx. And there's a cat. Have you not had a chance to see my drawings yet? Feels like you've been to 1 million streams already. These are some random doodles. On the other side, it says like, follow, share, all that. Just random little guys. And here is another page I wanted to show you. Because in the middle, I've drawn like an Oniate sorcerer, or something like that. Somebody important wearing a cedar bark little cloak and a mask with Oniate hanging off of it. So cool, thank you. Thank you for the follow, Webs Charming. Your presence is appreciated. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. This is a weird frog dude. He's a little centipede. If it would focus. Here's a little bug. The wagon. Here's an exploding tree, since I had been hearing about exploding trees a couple months ago. There's a cool robed figure. And here, let me show you. I drew a creature that I saw in my dreams a while ago. Well, I drew it yesterday. I saw this in my dreams a couple months ago. Little imp guy. Pixie is quite fond of this creature and suggests that I use it in something official, stream related. Like a little mascot. What do you think? I think that's a darling idea. Very chill creature. In this drawing, perhaps. But in the story I was thinking, it's not very chill. It's a demon. An imp. Oh, I did not mean to pop my pee so hard. Apologies. I love this thing. It's so fun. Just like me, a little bard creature, a little artist critter of some sort. Popping peas is an ASMR trigger. Yes. Popping peas to that intensity? I was just concerned about your little ears. Should make him into your own scary story. He's part of a dream that I had that I was reading earlier. I'm a little too embarrassed to read it again, though, because it was a dream. I woke up and immediately wrote like 1,300 words. And it's a lot of words, but it needs honing and editing. So it's not very, it doesn't really roll off the tongue. But I'll read it to you soon. I have a few ideas for it. I've been getting really excited. In my art, I've always drawn with a stream of consciousness, with absolute creativity in mind and absolute freedom. And I thought recently, in my pursuit of direction, excuse my chair, in my pursuit of direction, I thought that I would have to sacrifice quite a lot of that. But it has turned out that I've been finding a lot of my direction from my dreams. I've been finding that stories have been coming together for years just through my nightmares and through intense dreams that you might not necessarily consider nightmares, but they feel quite nightmarish while I'm dreaming them. For it's a series of dreams where I am, well, I don't know if you were there for me to read the Rotted City style, but I just have a series of dreams where I'm tasked with saving the world from a demon menace. And it is very, very stressful. Every time I have those dreams, I feel so lonely. Those dreams, I don't know how they sound to you folk. They might just sound like a funny, kind of random, fantastical little series, but to me, they're always the end of the world. They're always so real. That feeling of helplessness, not knowing what to do next or what to expect or how to fight back or what to fight back against or who to trust, and all these feelings flood me intensely for hours and hours of my night. But in my dreams, it doesn't feel like hours, it feels like days. I live through days of wondering how my next enemy is going to approach me and how I can deal with it. A feeling that I have lived with previously. Not in the literal sense that I dealt with. Well, actually, I guess I did deal with demons in the metaphorical sense. But it's just one of those feelings that's familiar, but made fantastical. And I rather like it. I've been streaming for 2 hours and 45 minutes. And it is 1:10. What do we think, Pixie? There's a creature behind me making noise. Are you able to hear that on the mic? Or does my noise suppression get all the creaks away? What do we think, lovely folks? Been streaming for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Maybe I'll read you 1 or 2 or 3 more stories before we end. Let's see, what should we read? I really wish I could read you some more of my writing, but I need to sit down and edit. I need to create. Oof, I'm itching to do so. I'll probably do some of that tomorrow and hopefully show you at some point on the weekend an updated piece of mine. That'll be my goal creatively right now. For now, let's see what we have here to read. We just read The Headless Nun of French Fort Cove. There is Wendigos staring me in the face. Hi-Hat. Have I read you Hi-Hat already? Hi-Hat is a good one. Chindi on page 133 is catching my eye right now. Oh, I like this. Never mind. We're reading El Duende of Mexico. Do you like seeing the book in front of me? That's kind of funny. El Duende. Awakening in a nest made of filthy, unwashed hair, dry, bloodied bandages, and nail clippings, his day begins when the lights of the house go out. After a yawn, and a few lengthy stretches, he begins scurrying about the lath and plaster, his ragged, sharp claws scratching within the darkness. Inside the walls, he climbs over the gnawed bones of a mouse and finds an old, dehydrated bat, a treat, but nothing compared to the harvest that awaits him beyond these boundaries. Out there is a miscellany of tastes and smells, a smorgasbord of savory delicacies and delightful flavors. As he clambers from one room to another, he finds a fat, juicy house centipede, a quick snack before the feast. He gnashes his sharp teeth and crunches the insect up. Peering through a crack in the ceiling, he spies the real prize, an unkempt boy, no more than 7, sleeping soundly in his bed. Oh, what a filthy delight. Lithely descending the wall and scuttling across the floor to the head of the bed, he stealthily climbs toward the boy's musty hair. The scent of hay, tangy, sour, and barnyard sweet. Bits of dry skin pulled from the scalp make a wonderfully rank appetizer. The consistency of stale bread and the flavor of old shoes. Squeals of delight at a dirty ear. This is where the meal begins in earnest. He must take a delicate approach, as the slightest of sounds can waken even the heaviest of sleepers. Oh, but the joys of success. A jelly saccharine treat, a gummy brown paste delicacy. The flavor of lamb's dung and barbacoa. An afternoon's perspiration dried on grimy skin, salty sweet with an unclean piquant. At the foot of the bed, he finds the main course. Uncut toenails, jagged and dirt-packed. His sharp claws dig out a treacly gum with a chewy crunch a pate of pinworm, egg, grime, and fungus. He is euphoric at this feast of filthiness. Surely no one would begrudge me just one toe, a meaty, thick-boned treat to tide me over until tomorrow's feast. He snaps off a toe of lesser importance, the second from the last on the left foot, then hops off the bed, scrambles across the floor, and scales the wall. His savory plunder tucked under his arm, he lays his head down to sleep, the boy's toe as a pillow. This will tide me over, he thinks, until tomorrow's sun fades and the feast begins anew. What a fun little story. I like that story. A lot of fun descriptors. Shiro, thank you for the follow. Your presence is appreciated. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. This is the illustration of El Duende. Fun little critter. We have gained 8 followers this stream. Thank you all for your follows. Your presence is appreciated. You are all strong, wise, and loved. I see Chupacabra, El Silbón. Let's see. Let's flip to a random page. Random, I said. I've been somehow flipping to pages of... I guess I've read a lot of this book now. This... Oh, my back. Oh. Some meaty spine cracks. This is the story of El Hacho Centeno, of Orocovis or Orosovis, Orocovis, Puerto Rico. Reaching down into a small cup, he pulls out a wriggling waxworm and spears its meaty body into a fishhook. He casts it out over the calm waters of the small pond, and moments later, a fish pulls hard on the line, fighting. He reels it in quickly and pulls the fish to shore. This happens again and again. The fish bite, he reels them in. Afternoon soon becomes evening, and daylight yields to dusk. His enthusiasm has kept him out later than planned, and now he has to find his way home through the darkness. He lights a hacho, a torch made of resinous wood soaked in oil, and begins the long walk home. Making his way through the darkness of the jungle, he stumbles along over gnarled root and fallen branch. With the nightjar's caw and the chuckwill's whoops and howls echoing in the distance. The songs of crickets ring through the air as his hacho begins to fade, and with it his view of the path ahead. Pausing for a moment, he searches among his bags for another source of light, anything that might burn and provide a bit of illumination. Yet with little luck, all he found was a small wooden crucifix. He knows the dangers of the jungle at night, and desperate for light, he reluctantly holds the tip of the crucifix to the dying flame. The dry wood bursts into flame, and once again he is on his way home. Soon he is seated by the warmth of his hearth. enjoying a meal of the day's catch. Days later, he suddenly falls ill and quickly dies. Oh, my book. He looked like Michael Jackson's kid. Me? What a funny. Days later, he suddenly falls ill and quickly dies. As a good Christian man, he finds himself at the gates of heaven, expecting an eternity of salvation, but instead he is met with an inquiry over the burning of his crucifix. At the end of his appeal, a celestial verdict is read. He is condemned, and his punishment is delivered. He is tasked with collecting all the ash that fell from the burning of his sacred cross, and he must retrace his steps from beginning to end and back again until the whole crucifix is reconstructed. It is said that to this day a light can be seen floating through the jungle, bobbing about close to the ground and then back up again. So let this be a reminder to always be aware of your surroundings and to always return home before the darkness of night overtakes the day. Looks like Michael Jackson's kid. Hee. I love Michael Jackson. I saw the movie in theater. It was alright. This is El Hacho Centeno. Okay, and we will find one more story. Let's have a quick look, shall we? We'll look at the contents and see what calls out to me. AI summary: Biggie Jackson reads folklore. BG Jackson reads folklore. Thank you, AI summary. Let's see, there was a story that I liked a lot. It's not Wendigo, is it? On page 90. It is Wendigo. This is the one I've been wanting to reread. We will reread this, and then we'll have to call it a night. Blanket's name is BG now. Blanket? What's happening? Anyway. Wendigo, Great Lakes region of Canada and the United States. The Wendigo is winter's merciless spirit, the very manifestation of the brutality of the unrelenting north winds that grimly strip the horizon to bleakness, leaving behind a trail of desolation and famine. Driven by his gluttony and his desire to destroy and consume humans, the Wendigo is always hungry, ever hunting, and is an insatiable, rapacious cannibal. The spirit of the Wendigo begins as a whisper on the cold winds during the cruelest months of winter's scarcity. It speaks to the weakest of people, those who feel they have been slighted, overlooked, or somehow given less, those who seek to balance their ledger at the cost of others. Preying on fear and a feeble mind, the Wendigo feeds on the thoughts that most of us keep hidden. Once he finds a home there, his baneful presence begins to metastasize, jumping from one thought to another, one desire to the next, until he finally breaks his victim's will, possesses them completely, and incites action. Once the Wendigo fully takes hold, hunger is ever present, and the temptation to feed on human flesh is unrelenting, finally manifesting in a famished rampage of murder and cannibalism. The more the Wendigo eats, the larger it becomes, never finding a meal capable of fulfilling its hunger. It is through cooperation and self-sacrifice that the Wendigo is defeated. To stand up to its gnawing insistence, we must choose righteousness over greed. This is where we find the Wendigo's greatest weakness. In the following story, we will learn about an unlikely hero who is willing to give herself up to save her village. When the pot over the fire began to swing on its own, the old ones knew he was coming. Some sat in silence, some nervously fidgeted with their nightly tasks, and others seemingly stared at the emptiness before them. But all were contemplating their fate. They knew that no man or woman had ever defeated the Wendigo. Few of them had noticed a young girl who sat by the fire, quietly stripping the bark from 2 sumac branches. It was only when she stood up and asked for a warm cup of tallow that the elders realized she was dressed in preparation to face the depths of the bitter cold outside. She threw open the door, and winter's cruelty was immediate. The frigid air tore its way into the girl's chest, the wind gnawing at what little of her skin was exposed. The deep snow began beneath her, squealed as it clawed and grabbed at her feet to slow her stride. Her dogs ran ahead to chase away the Wendigo's dogs, whose yips and howls rose and fell in unison with the brutal north wind. In the distance, the Wendigo loomed, giant against the horizon, striding effortlessly through the woods as his enormous hands brushed 5, 6, and 7 trees aside at once. His eyes were fixed on the smoke rising from the tiny village ahead as he made his way towards it. When the little girl first saw the Wendigo, her bravery did not waver. Indeed, she bore down even more, and as she ran across the frozen snow, she began to grow. With each stride, she became a little taller, and when the two met in a clearing, the girl was only slightly shorter than the Wendigo itself. The Wendigo snarled and howled as it sized her up. It gnashed its teeth, and the sound of shards of ice breaking soon turned into a low, gurgling cackle as his disbelief at the sight of such an unexpected opponent turned to amusement. The Wendigo imagined its feast of human flesh as it lunged wildly and uncontrollably toward her. But as the Wendigo rapidly swung his arms, the girl ducked and swayed. Reaching and grabbing, he lumbered awkwardly forward, missing his mark. He spun around, and in an attempted correction, lurched towards the girl once more. With a deft swing of one sumac branch, the girl landed a devastating blow to the Wendigo's head, and a forceful whip of his leg with the other branch sent him tumbling to the ground, which was frozen as solid as the hardest granite, shattering the Wendigo into a shower of icy shards upon impact. There, in the remnants, lay a gaunt man, emaciated and withered, with a broken skull. The girl drank the warm tallow and returned to her normal size. She called to her dogs, who, brave and battered, licked her face and circled her feet all the way back to the village. Her people welcomed her home a hero and were forever honored that she was theirs. I love that little story. It is so lovely. YouTube, the sweet bird. This is the illustration of the Wendigo, or the Wendy as I typically call it when I'm feeling superstitious and don't feel like saying the name. Wendy. This is the little hero girl. How pretty. What a pretty little illustration. I like this story a lot. I suppose I say the same thing to all of them. How do we feel, Pixie? Time to end? It's been 3 hours. There's some... I don't know if it's picked up on the mic at all. There's some sounds of hubbub on the other side of the house I should probably help out with. It's time. It's been 3 hours. It has been an absolute joy. Thank you to our 8 new followers. Thank you to our 12 current viewers. Your presences are noted and appreciated. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. It was nice to see a handful of returning faces again. So many lovely people coming back. Extile, so nice to see you. It's been 3 hours, 9 minutes. We'll be back again tomorrow at about 10:30 or so Pacific time. I will leave you with a reminder to take care of yourself, to give yourself peace. When you can, allow yourself some peace of mind. Give yourself, mercy is not the word I'm looking for, give yourself grace. You are working hard. You are strong, you are wise, and you are loved. The things that trouble you, allow them to wash off your back and go away. I believe in you. I will see you tomorrow with more ASMR and more stories to read. It has been lovely returning after my brief... Am I doing card reading? It does ASMR and storytelling mostly. I've been reading Frightful Folklore of North America, and I've been practicing affirmations. I've been streaming for a long time, and I took a couple of years off basically, and I've always made affirmations a part of stream. So that's all that is. Card reading, that'd be cool. I think that's all I have to say. Catch you again tomorrow night with some more ASMR and reading. You are strong, you are wise, you are loved. Thank you for your follows. Thank you for your time and attention. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon. See you.